when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Stormy seas, I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
I've never been the one to raise my hand. That was not me. And now that's who I am. Because of you, I am standing tall. My heart is full of endless gratitude. Were the one to guide me through. Now I can see, and I guess I've learned to question is to grow. That you still have faith is all I need to know. I've learned to love myself in spite of me, and I've learned to walk the road that I believe. But the only question with me now is, do I make you proud? Stronger than I've ever been now. Never be afraid of standing out. But do I make you proud? Everybody needs to rise up. Everybody needs to be loved. To be loved. This is what we dream about. But the only question with me now is, do I make you? Do I make you proud? Oh, the only question is, do I make you proud? Stronger than I've ever been. Never be afraid of. This is what we dream about. Oh, the only question is, do I? Stronger than I've ever been. Do I make you proud? Do I? This is what we dream about. But the only question with me now is, do I make you? Do I make you proud?
When I think back on these times and the dreams we left behind, I'll be glad 'cause I was blessed to get to have you in my life. When I look back on these days, I'll look and see your face. You were right there for me. In my dreams I'll always see you soar above the sky. In my heart there'll always be a place for you for all my life. I'll keep a part of you with me, and everywhere I am there you'll be
when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
I've never been the one to raise my hand. That was not me. And now that's who I am. Because of you, I am standing tall. My heart is full of endless gratitude. You were the one to guide me through. Now I can see, and I Yes, I've learned to question is to grow. That you still have faith is all I need to know. I've learned to love myself in spite of me, and I've learned to walk the road that I believe. But the only question with me now is, do I make you proud? Stronger than I've ever been now. Never be afraid of standing out. But do I make you proud? Everybody needs to rise up. Everybody needs to be loved. To be loved. This is what we dream about. But the only question with me now is, do I make you? Do I make you proud? Oh, the only question is, do I make you proud? Stronger than I've ever been. Never be afraid This is what we dream about. Oh, the only question is, do I? Stronger than I've ever been. Do I make you proud? Do I? This is what we dream about. But the only question with me now is, do I make you? Do I make you proud?
When I think back on these times and the dreams we left behind, I'll be glad 'cause I was blessed to get to have you in my life. When I look back on these days, I'll look and see your face. You were right there for me. In my dreams I'll always see you soar above the sky. In my heart there'll always be a place for you for all my life. I'll keep a part of you with me, and everywhere I am there you'll be. And everywhere I am there you'll be. Will you show me how it feels to feel the sky within my reach? And I always will remember all the strength you gave to me. Your love made me make it through. Oh, I owe so much to you. You were right there for me. In my dreams I'll always see you soar above the sky. In my heart there'll
when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
I've never been the one to raise my hand. That was not me. And now that's who I am. Because of you, I am standing tall. My heart is full of endless gratitude. You were the one to guide me through. Now I can see, and I Yes, I've learned to question is to grow. That you still have faith is all I need to know. I've learned to love myself in spite of me, and I've learned to walk the road that I believe. But the only question with me now is, do I make you proud? Stronger than I've ever been now. Never be afraid of standing out. But do I make you proud? Everybody needs to rise up. Everybody needs to be loved. To be loved. This is what we dream about. But the only question with me now is, do I make you? Do I make you proud? Oh, the only question is, do I make you proud? Stronger than I've ever been. Never be afraid of. This is what we dream about. Oh, the only question is, do I? Stronger than I've ever been. Do I make you proud? Do I? This is what we dream about. But the only question with me now is, do I make you? Do I make you proud?
When I think back on these times and the dreams we left behind, I'll be glad 'cause I was blessed to get to have you in my life. When I look back on these days, I'll look and see your face. You were right there for me. In my dreams I'll always see you soar above the sky. In my heart there'll always be a place for you for all my life. I'll keep a part of you with me, and everywhere I am there you'll be. And everywhere I am there you'll be. Will you show me how it feels to feel the sky within my reach? And I always will remember all the strength you gave to me. Your love made me make it through. Oh, I owe so much to you. You were right there for me. In my dreams I'll always see you soar above the sky. In my heart there'll
Good morning and welcome to the 9th commencement exercises of Pope John Paul II High School. We respectfully ask that all electronic devices be silenced at this time. Please join me in welcoming our presider, Sister Maureen Lawrence McDermott, Chief Academic Officer. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, sung by the senior members of our show choir, the Rhapsodies, under the direction of Mrs. Lynn. And then remain standing, please, for the invocation from Mr. Allen.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. We pause for a moment to ask God's blessing upon this commencement ceremony as we bow our heads in humble recognition of God's presence in our lives. Let us pray. Lord our God, we gather this morning with great gratitude and joy in our hearts. We offer you thanks and praise for the many blessings which you have bestowed upon us. We thank you for our life, our families, and our friends, our Catholic faith, and the gift of a Catholic education. The class of 2019 is truly grateful for having reached this joyous day, a day that recalls all their triumphs and failures, successes and disappointments. Along with their parents, guardians, family, friends, and teachers, we call to mind all the determination and personal sacrifices that have been contributed to make this graduation ceremony a reality. In faith and love, we beseech you, Father, watch over these graduates through all that lies ahead of them. May they always remain close to Jesus Christ and his church. and may they always be your light in the world by courageously being not afraid to seek the splendor of truth and to live the gospel of life. Grant all that we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good morning. On behalf of Mr. Bizzoni, our president, the administration, faculty, and staff, it is my pleasure to welcome parents, guardians, relatives, friends, and honored students of the class of 2019 to the 9th commencement exercises of Pope John Paul II High School. Today we are blessed by the presence of our presiding officer, Sister Maureen McDermott, the Chief Academic Officer and Superintendent of Secondary Schools of the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. Sister, you're most welcome. Last evening, we gathered together at St. Teresa of Calcutta Church, and together we were led in song by Simone and Marina, and they led us in the words of, "Let us go rejoicing, rejoicing to the house of the Lord." Before God, we prayed and rejoiced for you, our dear graduates. And this morning, in our house, we celebrate you. This is your day, your graduation day. Congratulations, graduates, on this accomplishment. We know that your achievement is not a singular effort. We want to thank your parents for the gift of a Catholic education, and those unconditional love and support brought you to this stage this morning. We thank your teachers, coaches, and moderators whose hard work and dedication truly embody the spirit of Catholic education. And above all, we thank the Lord himself, who created each of you in his image and likeness and blessed you with so many unique gifts and talents. On Tuesday, September 8th, 2015, you began this journey of high school. Coming from over 22 surrounding parishes, 17 elementary schools, from countries as far as China, Korea, and Vietnam, to become the class of 2019. And on that first day of school, you were introduced to a guiding principle of Pope John Paul II High School, our motto: be not afraid to seek the splendor of truth and to live the gospel of life. As a new wide-eyed freshman, I'm not sure most of you even knew what the motto meant, nor whose maybe powerful words they were. But over these 4 years, you have come to not only know they are words of our patron, Pope John Paul II, but they are words you have come to live. You have been not afraid to dedicate yourselves to academic rigor, to push yourselves to achieve your God-given potential. You have completed over 700 high school class days, around 259,000 minutes of classroom instruction. You have not been afraid to seek not only the splendor of truth, but the knowledge necessary for life. From theology to psychology, from foreign language to calc, which may have seemed like a foreign language, U.S. history, world history, sonnets and subsets, statistics and Shakespeare, physics, biology, anatomy, AP chemistry. You have not been afraid. Your academic success has paid off, you have earned a substantial total in college scholarship dollars, but I'm not going to spoil the total yet. Your determination, your dedication, and your desire to be your best did not end at the final bell each day at 2:29. No, your desire to live out our school's motto and mission just began. You were not afraid to try new endeavors, to seek new opportunities. You embraced the performing and visual arts, creating and doing. You entertained thousands over your 4 years on this very stage, taking your love of this stage beyond Royersford, PA, and most every year to the most wonderful place on earth. You were not afraid to take to the court, the field, the track. As student athletes, you garnered individual recognition, establishing personal bests and school records. In your 4 years, you have seen 3 PAC volleyball championships, 1 district volleyball championship, 2 boys cross-country district championships, 1 girls cross-country district championship, 1 golf district championship, 2 individual wrestling district championships, a state champion, and countless PAC and Frontier Division champions. In all these successes, though, you were not afraid to accomplish the most important thing, to build lasting relationships, to display sportsmanship, win or lose, and you always sought to make us proud. You were not even afraid as a class to lead our school's student section to new heights and fan attendance and ensured that everybody rumbled. Dear graduates, some of your greatest successes and your lasting legacy on the community of Pope John Paul will be your willingness to not be afraid to live out the gospel, to see in one another and in your neighbor the words of Jesus himself. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. As a class over your 4 years, you have completed 11,514 hours of Christian community service. You have seen the face of Christ in your neighbor who has been the beneficiary of your generosity. From turkey money to blood drives, the less fortunate children your homerooms have adopted each Christmas, Catholic relief services during the Lenten season. Your generosity and desire to give has been felt locally and globally. You have danced and stalled and played bubble soccer for all the kids of Uganda, Our Lady of Confidence, and 4 Diamonds, in whom you saw the face of Christ. You have not been afraid to put yourselves second, to see the needs of the community and respond. And I would suggest your greatest acts of kindness and selfishness are not even known. Your kindness, sacrifices, support, and true Christian service you have shown to one another. Your random acts of kindness, which are only between you and God, but which to your fellow classmate made all the difference. Continue to not be afraid, dear graduates, to look at another person and see the face of God. And now, members of the class of 2019, it is time for you to seek new ventures, to not be afraid of future endeavors, and for you to take all that you have learned here at Pope John Paul II High School to the world, which needs you to fight violence and injustice, to seek out peaceful resolutions, to feed the hungry and give drink to the thirsty. Do not be afraid to be yourselves in the world. And for one last time, to make good choices. Because of all of us are counting on you. Members of the class of 2019, congratulations on this milestone of your graduation and the number of milestones to follow. I know you are most grateful to your parents, grandparents, families, and teachers for their support and the gift of a Catholic education. Please know that we love you, we are proud of you, and do not be afraid.
Good morning. I would like to welcome Sister Marie McDermott, Mr. Brazzoni, Father Keene, the administration, members of the faculty and staff, parents and guests, and I would like to offer a special welcome to my fellow graduates of the class of 2019. When I was a 15-year-old wide-eyed freshman, I walked through the doors of Pope John Paul II High School as a student for the very first time. I walked through those doors with a lot of uncertainty. I was feeling a lack of direction. Literally, I had no idea where any of my classes were. But also, because I hadn't the slightest clue in what direction God was going to take me. At the end of that first day, we had an assembly where a senior by the name of Aaron Lemma told us that PJP is the greatest high school in the universe. I was thinking, what on earth is he talking about? How could this high school be different from any other? Today, as we all prepare to walk out of those same doors for the last time as students, I ponder how this school helped us in forming a roadmap for success in the future with our faith acting as our compass. When we first arrived, as overwhelmed and confused freshmen, it was as if we'd never looked at a map. But the administration and faculty helped to guide us through the treacherous hallways and over the natural bumps in the road. We learned to navigate not only the hallways, but also our faith. We learned how to use our natural talents, and that we all didn't have to go in the same direction. Some of us took to the stage, others took to the fields, and still others headed out into the community to help. We never felt forced into being someone we were not. The PJP community taught us that our God-given talents could be utilized, no matter what they may be. Our school created an environment that is inclusive and offers a place for every single student to feel like they are a part of something great. As we made our stops in the classrooms of PJP, we met teachers who challenged us to be high-achieving and well-rounded Catholic young men and women. Our teachers have developed an excellent rapport with each of us as students. This enabled us to feel comfortable seeking help, while teachers encouraged us to grow academically and spiritually. At the same time, our teachers have constantly cared about our well-being. I have seen countless times our teachers have left their doors open to help anyone willing to ask in whatever area of life they may need some advice. As we traverse the map of high school, the administration has always supported us, working tirelessly to ensure that our school has a positive environment that is conducive to learning and achieving great successes in all areas of life. Our principal, Father Keene, dedicates himself as a leader, teacher, and mentor to any student who walks through his door. He is always ready to face a challenge and remains a pillar of strength for everyone. Our president, Mr. Brazzoni, has used his energy and enthusiasm from his very first day here to work tirelessly to promote our school. So many more members of the staff have not only cared about our academic careers, but have also taken the time to care about us on an individual basis. They have treated us like adults, known each of us by name, and given us their valuable time. All of these interactions provided us with a model of how to treat others in the real world we're about to take on. Throughout the years, we have seen a wide array of school events that put on display some of the best school spirit a high school has ever seen. Panthers versus Cancer, prep rallies, football games under the lights, Blue and Gold Day, art exhibits, Pantheron, student versus teacher basketball games, performances by Studio 38 and the Rhapsodies, and so many more events defined how proud each individual is to be a part of the PJP student body. In addition, our amazing coaches and athletic trainer have spent so many hours helping us all develop our skills while focusing on keeping us healthy and strong. But the thing that epitomizes our spirit at PJP is our Christian service. Not only do we have a few clubs focused on service events throughout the year, but we are also lucky to have so many additional drives that our entire school participates in. the turkey drive, Christmas drive, blood drives, Lenten food drive, Miles for Smiles, and many more events where thousands of dollars have been raised, hundreds of pints of blood have been donated, and hundreds of meals have been prepared for local families in need. This illustrates to us the importance of recognizing our own blessings bestowed on us by God and the value of giving back to our community. Even the Christian service hours requirement has shown us how important it is to give ourselves to others, because the impact it can have is profound. As an example, over the years, I have been able to donate my time to the Mitzvah Circle Foundation in Harleysville, where I work to put together care packages filled with the necessities for those in need. The organization gave me the opportunity to include a letter to the people the package is being sent to. Even though I never fully knew who was receiving the package, the letter was a chance to reach out and connect with them on a personal level, and to offer encouragement with the hopes of illuminating a path on their map. In the words of our namesake, Pope St. John Paul II, today you are being called to commit yourselves in this way. Wherever people are suffering, wherever they are humiliated by poverty or injustice, and wherever a mockery is made of their rights, make it your task to serve them. Catholic values and principles have been instilled in us and were continually strengthened throughout our 4 years at this school. Values such as a respect for all human life, care for all God's creation, and a desire to serve those in need built in us a solid foundation with God. Whether through the prayer services held during lunch periods, opportunities to have adoration in the chapel during theology classes, monthly school-wide masses, or opportunities for reconciliation, the principles of Catholicism have been present on a daily basis in the halls of this school. This development of our faith culminated with the Kairos retreat that allowed each of us to all grow a deeper relationship with Jesus in our own unique ways. Now, as a senior about to graduate PJP, I finally get what Aaron Lemon was talking about. PJP really is the greatest high school in the universe. All of these different paths and rows I have mentioned have merged together and brought us to this point today. From the school spirit to the community, from the extracurriculars to the classroom, from service to the development of our faith, our beloved school has both provided us with and shown us how to use the map we need to take our next steps in life. The hours we have spent navigating these halls in the past 4 years have left us with wonderful moments and memories, with many people, from our parents to our teachers, to fellow peers giving their time to guide us along the way. It is now time to branch off into 203 separate roads, with the opportunity to be successful in any path of life we choose to take. I would like to leave you with this last thought. Let your faith guide you. Let all you have learned at this school be your map, and take these next steps confidently. Because as famed radio show host Earl Nightingale said, all you need is the plan, the roadmap, and the courage to press on to your destination. Thank you.
This profile of the class of 2019 is based on the information submitted to the Guidance Office by May 20th. 97% of the class of 2019 will be continuing their education at colleges and universities as close as Ursinus College and as far away as Waseda University in Japan. Some of the schools our graduates will be attending are Alvernia University, Appalachian State University, Auburn University, Bennington College, Clemson University, Drexel University, Dickinson College, Hong Kong Polytechnic University, Immaculata University, Kutztown University, Lafayette College, Lehigh University, Michigan State University, Oberlin College of Arts and Sciences, Pennsylvania State University, Pepperdine University, Rowan University, Rutgers University, St. Joseph's University, Savannah College of Art and Design, Texas A&M University, Thaddeus Stevens University, the Catholic University of America, the University of Notre Dame, the University of Pittsburgh, Villanova University, Westchester University, and York College. Sitting before you are future business leaders, educators, doctors, lawyers, military professionals, nurses, performers, politicians, writers, and many more with opportunities not yet discovered. They will be studying such majors as accounting, business administration, digital media, education, engineering, finance, graphic design, health sciences, history, kinesiology, marketing, nursing, political science, physical therapy, psychology, and more. 2% of the class of 2019 will be joining our nation's workforce full-time. This year, 143 members of the class of 2019 were awarded 694 scholarships and grants, totaling $31,257,920.19. Please refer to the graduation booklet to review our graduate successes. We are very proud of them. I ask all of those students who have received scholarships and grants to please stand. Congratulations. Please be seated. Two members of the class of 2019 will be serving our beautiful country as they join the United States Coast Guard and the United States Marine Corps. Gentlemen, please stand. Thank you. Please be seated. We congratulate all of our graduates, as well as their parents and families who have supported, encouraged, and nurtured them on their journey to this very special day. May God bless and keep each and every one of you, and may you always keep Him close in your hearts. It is now my pleasure to introduce Sister Maureen Lawrence McDermott, Chief Academic Officer and Superintendent of Secondary Schools for the Archdiocese of Philadelphia.
Thank you, Megan. Just wow on all that you shared. How beautiful. Good morning, parents and grandparents, Mr. Bassone, Father Keene, distinguished members of the faculty and staff, and most especially the class of 2019 of Pope John Paul II High School. Before I begin, I have to tell you, in education now, business people have been infused to guide us on the finances of Catholic education. They taught me a new term, and the term is ROI. Anyone in the audience understand ROI? I had to learn it. Return on investment, right? And that's what they ask me all the time. Sister, what is the return on investment? I think your director of guidance more than explained the value of Catholic education through the Archdiocese of Philadelphia here at Pope John Paul High School. Congratulations and just wow, beautiful. This is a wonderful day for honoring you, the class of 2019, the PJP Panthers, who have achieved so much, and we've heard it, during these high school years of graduation. This is a day to look backward with thanks and look forward with great anticipation. I believe that your yearbook committee said it best in developing the theme about making your mark. Well, you certainly have here at Pope John Paul. And I have to tell you, I'm a person who's not easily impressed. I'm more than impressed. I'm overwhelmed and I'm in awe. Just fantastic. I'm honored to be here with you this morning. It's a special moment for you, your families, and for me as superintendent of secondary schools. I am so very proud of each of you. Your parents are bursting with pride, and you should be proud of yourselves at this moment as well. The class of 2019, 203 graduates strong, received hundreds of college acceptances. And I hate to repeat, but I did my research as well. From Lafayette and Lehigh, from the University of Notre Dame, and from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, just to name a few. And your record of $31 million and change, and I mean 19 cents change, in scholarships, grants, and awards is so impressive. In an extraordinary way, this class of 2019, first place in the Academic Quiz Bowl League, first place in the Mathletes team in the Western Division, quarterfinalists in the Lehigh Valley First Tech Challenge, basketball champs in the Pac Frontier Division, and Golf District 1A Championship, and of course, what was mentioned by Father Keene, that girls lacrosse team who I believe made school history, is that right? First ever District 1 champs, congratulations. We're so in awe of you and all that you've done in 4 short years. This morning, we are called together to stop, to pause, and acknowledge your achievement of these soon-to-be graduated class of 2019, to reflect and celebrate your success, and then to see where this might take you in the years to come. Now, if you ask me what I do by trade, I would not say superintendent. If you ask me what my trade is, I would say I'm a teacher. As a matter of fact, I digress. This evening, Father Keene will be in class with me at St. Joseph's University as my student. And when I walked in this morning, I said, "Good morning, congratulations." Are you ready for this? "Did you do your homework, Father?" And he looked shaky. So we'll see. He was late 2 weeks ago and he had to sit front and center. Anyway, I am a teacher, and so as a teacher, I always feel compelled to share the lesson of the day with my students. And I'm a Jesuit-educated teacher, Fordham University. So I always share things with 3 points as a good Jesuit educator. First, I would say to you, my soon-to-be graduates, be grateful and be faithful. And I'm going to share with you my absolutely favorite story on this. And it's the story of the Summer Olympics of 1924. The Scottish runner, well-prepared, Eric Liddell, was supposed to run in that Olympics in Paris. There was only one problem for Eric Liddell. The heat that he was supposed to run in the Olympics was scheduled for a Sunday. And so much to the upsetment of the British government, the International Olympic Committee, the Prime Minister, and the royal family, Eric Liddell was very clear. I will not run on Sunday. And so pressed further for an explanation, Liddell answered, "God made me fast. God made me fast. And when I run to feel his pleasure. And so I say to you, with all of your beautiful talents that have been so well described by your director of guidance and your principal, praise God by using your talents from this day forward like an Olympic champion in the model of Eric Liddell. Share your talents to feel God's pleasure like Eric Liddell. Be extraordinary in your praise of God through these talents which have been declared and are the ROI of being present at Pope John Paul. Second, be generous with your talents. Share them freely. Your candle loses nothing when it lights another. Be grateful for the talents you have received. The measure of a leader, and you are leaders, it's evident, is not the number of people who serve you, but the number of people whom you will serve. Generosity requires putting others first. In the model of your own parents, in the model of your own parents whose generosity chose to send you and sacrifice so that you could be here in this beautiful auditorium at Pope John Paul High School, who sacrificed so that you might have a Pope John Paul High School Catholic education and did not seek repayment. The great Indian poet Tagore wrote, "All that is not given away," I want you to listen again, "all that is not given away is ultimately lost, is lost." So give freely and generously of these beautiful talents that have been so made evident this morning. You have been given much. Give it in an extraordinary way. The next piece I would say to you is Pope Francis asks you, my young people, to be revolutionaries. Yes, Father Keene, Mr. Bazone. He asks you to be revolutionaries and swim against the tide. And I am asking you to rebel against a culture that sees everything as temporary and ultimately believes that you are incapable of responsibility. Well, I think we've heard today that's simply not true. And that you are incapable of true love. And I believe that's not true as well. Father, honestly, I wrote this speech on my own. I didn't steal your homework. So when I say, do not be afraid to go and to bring Christ into every area of life, to the fringes of society, even to those who seem the furthest away or perhaps the most indifferent. Class of 2019, Pope John Paul High School, I don't just assure you, I tell you in the strongest way, the church needs you. We need you. We need your enthusiasm. We need your creativity. We need the joy that is so characteristic of you and so very evident today. Let me share an example. A student asked St. Teresa of Calcutta. Now, I know you know who she is because you just had a beautiful baccalaureate at St. Teresa of Calcutta Church. A student asked St. Teresa, when she was Mother Teresa, if she could follow Mother Teresa to Calcutta and work with her. Mother Teresa's answer is my favorite. Mother Teresa answered is the lesson that I hope for all of you to learn, especially today in my little lesson here on stage. Mother Teresa instructed, stay where you are. Find your own Calcutta. Find the sick, find the suffering, the lonely, right there where you are, in your homes, in your families, in your workplaces, and in your schools. Mother Teresa said, you can find Calcutta all over the world if you have the eyes to see. Everywhere, wherever you go, find people who are unwanted, unloved, uncared for, just rejected by society, completely forgotten, completely left alone. Who will you meet as you walk out of these doors today in this next chapter of your life? Those who are truly poor in your university, your fraternity and sorority, sitting next to you in Western Civilization class, working alongside you at your summer job. This person who does not quite grasp the lesson in class, who sits alone at lunch, who will not be invited to the frat party or even to the study group. Guess what? There is your Calcutta. You can find great joy, holiness, and even sainthood in finding the poorest of the poor on your campus and in your neighborhood. Mother Teresa said, whoever is feeling unwanted, unloved, uncared for, forgotten by everybody, I think that that is a much greater hunger, a much greater poverty than the person who has nothing to eat. And so, my young and very extraordinary students of Pope John Paul II, I leave you with a challenge as I close here today. Continue to be extraordinary in your love of others, going always for those who are in the margins, who are forgotten, who are alone. Congratulations on your graduation. Thank the giver of the gifts and be generous in sharing those gifts with others. And again, find your Calcutta. Share with those in need your own talents, which God has so richly given you. I'm so very proud of you. Congratulations. Oh, yes. Great point. And now I would like to share with you the message to the graduates from Archbishop Charles Chaput. And the Archbishop wrote for you today, congratulations on this wonderful day. It's a very proud moment for you and for your families. On April 2nd this year, Pope Francis issued a special message on young people, the faith, and vocational discernment. His words contained 3 great truths. The first is this: God knows and loves each of you uniquely. The second is that Jesus, out of love, died on the cross in order to save you. And finally, the third is this: the risen Christ is alive, here and now, and he listens intently to the hopes and fears in each of your hearts. In his message, the Holy Father writes that young people can help keep the church young. Isn't that powerful? Young people can help keep the church young as she pursues her mission to bring the world to Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ to the world. That's both a privilege and a responsibility, and both are now in your hands as young adults. As you go forward today, my dear young people, look for opportunities to show that God is alive, to share God's love, and serve others. Our world needs models of goodness, reminders of God's great care for each person. So much can be changed in our world when young people come alive in the power of Jesus Christ. I pray you will make that choice each day. See, even Pope Francis says the same thing, make good choices. May you go forth and make a holy difference in this world. May God bless you, your families, your dedicated teachers, the administrators, religious and priests who have brought you to this great day of accomplishment. Sincerely, the Most Reverend Charles J. Chaput, Archbishop of Philadelphia.
The award for excellence in the study of theology, sponsored by Visitation of the Blessed Virgin Mary Parish, is awarded to Anna Rose King. The award for excellence in the study of English, sponsored by Corpus Christi Parish, is awarded to Thomas Hybeck. The award for excellence in the study of social study, sponsored by St. Maria Goretti Parish, is awarded to Thomas Hybeck. The award for excellence in the study of mathematics, sponsored by the Mother of Divine Providence Parish, is awarded to Sean Tobin. The award for excellence in the study of science, sponsored by the Sacred Heart Parish, is awarded to Sean Tobin. The award for excellence in the study of world language, sponsored by St. Columcille Parish, is awarded to Thomas Hybeck. The award for excellence in the study of business and technology, sponsored by the Gennardi Family Foundation, is awarded to Abigail Golubowski. The award for excellence in the study of visual art, sponsored by St. Philip Neri Parish, is awarded to Madison Lewis. The award for excellence in the study of instrumental music, sponsored by St. Anne Parish, is awarded to Kylie DeVico. The award for excellence in the study of performing arts, sponsored by Holy Savior Parish, is awarded to Marina Martelli. The award for excellence in the study of physical education, sponsored by St. Paul Parish, is awarded to Brian Bendig. The St. John Paul II Presidential Award for a student who epitomizes Christian values is sponsored by St. Eleanor's Parish, is awarded to Abigail Golubowski. The St. John Paul II Principal Award for a student who epitomizes Christian values, sponsored by St. Teresa of Avila Parish, is awarded to Kevin Lynn. The St. John Paul II Administration Award for a student who epitomizes outstanding school spirit, sponsored by St. Joseph Parish, is awarded to Jack Marinello. The St. John Paul II Faculty Award for Outstanding Female Student Athlete, sponsored by St. Teresa of Calcutta Parish, is awarded to Molly Moore. The St. John Paul II Faculty Award for Outstanding Male Student Athlete, sponsored by St. Aloysius Parish, is awarded to John Paul Sheely. The St. John Paul II Award is awarded to a student who is a witness to the Catholic faith, sponsored by St. Mary Parish, is awarded to Benjamin Grimm. The following students have earned the distinction of achieving 4 years of perfect attendance is awarded to Juliana Chinesky, Corinne Lontok, Andrew Mitzer, Lauren Nentrig. The following student has earned the distinction of achieving 12 years of perfect attendance is awarded to Juliana Chinesky. The award for the composition and delivery of the welcome address sponsored by St. Mary's Parish is awarded to Zachary Murktoff. The award for the composition and delivery of the commencement address sponsored by PJP Administration is awarded to Thomas Hybeck. The Administration Award for Academic Excellence for cumulative rank of second in the class of 2019 is awarded to Molly Moore. The Administration Award for Academic Excellences for the cumulative rank of first in the class of 2019 is awarded to Thomas Hybeck.
Good morning and welcome, Sister Maureen McDermott, Mr. Brazzoni, Father Keene, the administration, faculty members, parents, guests, and in a special way, my fellow graduates. He said to them, "Amen, I say to you, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you." I imagine that most of us have heard this excerpt from the Gospel of Matthew at least once by now. But for a second, focus on that message. Nothing will be impossible for you. That is a message I had not considered during my first experience at PJP, all the way back in 5th grade. I sat in this auditorium, actually somewhere about halfway back in this bottom left section, and watched the grade school performance of Anything Goes. As I watched, the one thought continually going through my mind was something to the effect of, "That's crazy. I could never get up on stage in front of all of those people, not in a group and certainly not alone." That was my impossible. That was my mountain. So as you can probably see, I moved it. And it is this school that has given me the opportunity to do so. I'd like to take this time to look at how we can all overcome impossibility. First, learn what you can whenever you can. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it is power to achieve impossible goals. Throughout these past 4 years, we have certainly gained a great deal of knowledge in the classroom in every conceivable subject. But we have also learned to seek out new knowledge in every other aspect of life, be it about science, math, English, or not so traditional topics like video games and superheroes. We have all taken the opportunity to learn a few things that we desired knowledge about. So what does all of this have to do with impossibility? Quite simply, you can't do something until you've learned how to do it. Moreover, when we learn voluntarily and get some enjoyment from it, we might just find that that new knowledge reveals something new about who we are. Next, use your gifts and talents, whatever they may be. Obviously, we all have unique skills. Many people, though, either assume that their gifts are of no use in reaching their goals, or that they can't develop the necessary skills to reach those goals. Both of those assumptions, no offense to anyone who holds them, are wrong. Though yes, it may be difficult to see how, let's say, your artistic prowess will be of any use in getting the grades you desire, that doesn't make it an ineffective talent. Often, your talents will help you keep true to yourself and lead you down the path to forming new goals. As for the skills needed to do a given impossible task, it's important to realize that none of us are in any way bound by the gifts and talents we were born with. In fact, if you think my getting up to give this speech comes from some natural public speaking ability, you likely have not met me. Many of us have taken these last 4 years to expand our pool of skills, and we will continue to do so as we are faced with novel challenges. Then look for help in those around you. This step stems directly from my experience at PJP. As I alluded to in mentioning public speaking, I'm not a very extroverted person, and one of my biggest challenges coming into high school was learning to seek help from others. That lesson of drawing from those around me was one of the most important things I learned over my 4 years. Obviously, there has been and will continue to be the traditional importance of asking help from teachers and faculty. In a special way, too, we have our families to thank, who help us even when we're too stubborn to ask. However, there is also incomparable value in learning from and asking help of your friends. I've received perspectives I never considered, ideas I never would have come up with, and motivation that I didn't know I needed from the people I have met here. As a class, we have lived, learned, and laughed together, and I'm confident in saying we're all the better for it. And as for the impossibilities, let me put it this way. It's a lot easier to move a mountain when you have a whole group of people pushing with you. When you ask for help, though, don't forget to help in return. This is a lot more than just a simple courtesy. Service to others, whether it is as simple as picking up the books your friend dropped, or as in-depth as organizing a food drive for a local shelter, is always impactful. As a school community that, as Zach mentioned earlier, takes on service with a great deal of pride and passion, we have come to experience that firsthand. There is something truly amazing in realizing that you can help improve another person's life, even if that means improving their day. And that amazement we feel in helping those around us can and will inspire us to help ourselves. Once you see the kind of impact you can have on another person, it's quite a bit easier to see what you can do in your own life. Finally, when in doubt, turn to God. Yes, I did save the most important for last. Think back again to that excerpt from Matthew's Gospel. Faith the size of a mustard seed. We have a cheering fan, a friend, a father that will never rest in his support for us, and all we need to do is let him. This is an idea that we have all focused on heavily here, be it through our theology classes, our annual retreats, or everyday activities like lunchtime prayer services or daily mass. We are reminded constantly that what, or rather who, we need to overcome the impossible is by our side at all times. There is no task, no matter how simple or complex, that we cannot take to God and ask his help for. Even when we don't know quite what we want to ask, we can, and should more often than we do, listen. We have the support of the creator of the entire universe on our side. It sort of puts your impossible problem in perspective, doesn't it? Now, I never actually finished my story about my impossible dream. To preface the rest briefly, science fiction author Ray Bradbury said, "You've got to jump off the cliff all the time and build your wings on the way down." And so jump I did. During my freshman year here, I auditioned for this spring musical. And though the directors might be a little gentler, I'll be honest, it was bad. Nonetheless, I got an ensemble part and continued to take part in the musical, also joining our show choir, the Rhapsodies, in my sophomore year. Following Bradbury's advice, I continued to work on my auditions, try new songs, and what have you. Finally, for the spring musical during my junior year, the wings started to take shape, and I earned a small supporting role in Footloose. The real revelation for me was the grade school performance for that same show. Mrs. Lynn brought all of the named characters on stage before the show to briefly explain our roles to the grade school students. As I stood on stage, I realized that I was doing what I believed impossible when I'd first sat in those same seats. These 4 stairs, then, were my impossibility, my proverbial mountain. And though it may not seem very far to anyone else, to me it has meant the world. In fact, it is my firm belief that between the network of support we have in the people around us and the unfathomable love of our God in heaven, there really is no impossible dream. This school has allowed us all to make our impossible dreams a reality. So now it is on us to go forth and do nothing short of moving mountains. Thank you.
I have to catch my breath there. I got a lump in my throat. Fantastic job. Once again, please, round of applause. Fantastic job, Thomas. Before we bring this auspicious occasion to the conferring of degrees, on behalf of Pope John Paul II High School's Board of Directors, administration, faculty and staff and students, and most importantly, our soon-to-be newly minted alumni on stage, we extend our sincere gratitude to our superintendent, Sister Maureen McDermott, for providing today's keynote address. We're very blessed and honored, Sister, to have you as the academic leader that's very passionate about academic excellence and student success, even with our principal who has to attend class tonight. So thank you. Many of you know how I approach things, so I'm going to do something a little bit out of the ordinary. So I'd like to invite an international student from our graduating class of 2019 to help me with the beginning of my closing remarks. So Ms. Jisoo Park, if you can make your way to the podium. Jisoo is from South Korea, and she, like many of her international classmates, have culturally enriched our school with their global perspective. From the very first day she arrived, she jumped right into the American culture, involving herself in mathletes, robotics, community service corps, international club, being in the student ambassador program, Pantheron, and then where I met her on the tennis courts. This is just to name a few things that she does here. So I did meet her on the tennis courts my first year as the president, and when I was at the tennis courts, I met her and her host parents, and she introduced herself as Lena, and which is her American name. I then asked her, "What is your God-given name?" And she said, Jisoo. Of course, after about 5-10 minutes to pronounce the Jisoo, I got it down like that, right? I got it right away. That day, I promised her, and I promised many of our international students, that I would do my best to always call them by their family name. Jisoo has truly embraced the PJP experience that transcends friendships, both here and abroad. While her parents could not be here today, they are watching from South Korea through the live stream feed as we speak. So I know they don't speak English, right? So we can talk, you can tell them, and then, yeah. So hello, Jisoo's parents. The good news Jisoo is supported by her American host parents, Mr. and Mrs. Sugars. Where are you at today? Please stand up. Please stand up. They have provided the care and love necessary for Jisoo to have a memorable high school experience. The Sugars family drove Jisoo each and every day to Villanova University 4 days a week to fulfill her diocesan scholarship requirements. They hosted a Thanksgiving meal where they invited friends to their home. They took Jisoo to visits to colleges in Florida, Virginia, Pennsylvania. They even traveled to South Korea last summer to visit Jisoo's parents and family members to ensure that their daughter was in loving hands. Absolutely. These are just a handful of things Jisoo's host parents did and continue to do to support Jisoo in her pursuit to successfully complete high school and to excel to the next level in higher education. But the greatest attribute that Mr. and Mrs. Sugars provide Jisoo, and what Jisoo has also provided her host parents, is unconditional love, respect, and gratitude for one another, their families, and all who come in contact with them. Many of the same things have been said in everyone's speech today. They possess. This is just one family's example of the many examples each and every one of our PJP families do each and every day. You provide support and care for your student as well as their classmates and friends. This is what makes PJP such a special, caring, loving, and nurturing place. So, Jisoo, would you help me that was the longest introduction to introduce you, right? Would you help me by thanking the many people today that have provided the love and support which has made a profound impact on the class of 2019? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Bozzoni. For the parents, families, and friends, the teachers, school administrators, 안녕하십니까. 2019학년도 국제 졸업생을 대표하여 이 자리에 서게 되어 무척 영광입니다. 저희가 이 자리에 오기까지 끊임없이 지지해 주시고 두려움 없이 무한한 가능성의 날개를 펼치게끔 도와주신 가족 여러분, 부모님 여러분, 그리고 선생님과 학교 관계자분들께 축하와 진심 어린 감사의 인사를 전합니다. 감사합니다. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you so much.
Go grab us. Thank you. So to translate, because I'm very fluent in Korean, she said, she said, on behalf of Pope John Paul II High School, we extend our sincere appreciation to our students, supportive family members, and friends, our dedicated teachers and administrators for your tireless effort to be not afraid to have an impact in the world. It's amazing how two cultures come to one place here in Royersford. Thank you, Jisoo, and congratulations to your acceptance to Lehigh University, as she'll be double majoring in computer science, business, and finance. Represent PJP proudly in all that you do. I'm also going to leave you, to do my best in my ability to leave you with some reflective thoughts to remember the sustainable impact you'll have as you enter the next chapter of your lives. As was mentioned before, just 4 years ago, many of you were here in this auditorium with your families, attending new student convocation and orientation. On that day, we welcomed you and your families with open arms, caring hearts into the PJP community, knowing that our patron saint, Pope John Paul II, would always be at your side. As you look back upon your high school years, you can identify the many times our dedicated faculty challenged, yet supported you in your learning, development, and growth. Your teachers have left an indelible mark on your lives forever. And how do I know that? Last evening, I went around at the baccalaureate mass and asked many of you, what were some of the famous teacher administrative sayings or lessons that you'll always remember, right? And here are some of the doozies I received last night, in which I'm sure that one day you might catch yourself telling your children or your nieces or nephews the same thing that your teachers have shared with you. So if you want to finish the sentence, I'm going to mention a couple things. You can finish the sentence, you can shout it out. We'll go outside the pomp and circumstance a little bit. But let's see if you can remember some of these things. Mr. Keenan once said, do your due diligence. Very good. Mr. Cotman once said, so you think to yourself. This is not scripted. This is authentic. Miss Malik sometimes says, okay. Is that correct? Of course, Mr. Flanagan, I digress. And for many people in Studio 38, you're used to hearing, get off my stage, Mrs. Lynn. It's a good parenting tactic as well. You'll also hear, come on, tuck in your shirt, unroll the top of your skirt, please. You know the dress code, Mrs. Rowland. How about this one? Strikes are now in effect, Mr. Tower. And of course, good kids at Pope John Paul High School, Mr. Flanagan. And keep your fork. The best is yet to come, Mrs. Lynn. And I'm sure a lot of people in the audience could probably finish this sentence, because I know this person has said it for many, many years. Math is? Oh, some people in the audience may have had Miss Murphy in class. Very good. And of course, the late Mr. Weckel, onward and upward. Excuse me. As we end with the last quote that you've heard throughout your years here, the most famous is Father Keen's. And he always says, make. Very good. We are truly blessed to have such a strong community. People dedicating themselves professionally and selflessly. Our sincerest thank you to the celebrants, teachers, staff, administrators for all your sacrifices that have led to this special day. You'll also notice that there are many people whom you've met along your prideful journey that helped shape and create the leader that you are today. Your family and friends who bear witness to this academic milestone have played an integral role in your success. As a parent of 3 children in Catholic school, I fully understand the sacrifices parents endure to provide a high-quality Catholic education. I get it. So bear with me, parents, when I mention a few of the things here, and I take you down memory lane of the craziness of what you had to endure. Does everyone recall those early mornings, those long nights, washing school uniforms, sometimes with 30 minutes before the student has to leave to go to school, finding your student's shoes or matching their socks, or even if they have socks that are clean, bringing something to school that your student forgot, drop-offs and pickups for events, and the extravagant dinners we would have at Wawa or Chick-fil-A or the concession stand, assisting your student with homework, or honestly, trying to find the phone number of a parent that's pretty competent in that area and asking them, how the heck do you do this so I can help them? For our students who participate in Studio 38, parents always wondering whether their students should live at PJP since they spent 15 hours a day leading up to the school show. And all the times you scrubbed the grass stains and dirt from your students' athletic uniforms and somehow could still never get it white enough. And the list can go on and on. These fond memories will last a lifetime for our parents, but especially for our students. It's my hope that one day you, our graduates, will be ever so lucky enough to experience the same exact things we as parents have experienced, including providing your children a Catholic school education. So, class of 2019, may I ask you to please stand and show your gratefulness for your teachers, your administrators, and most importantly, your families through a very loud applause. Go ahead. Very good. It was long, it wasn't loud, but it was long. Very good. No, I'm kidding. It was very good. On behalf of our principal, Father Keen, and myself, we'd like to extend our appreciation to our assistant principals and their staff for their tireless efforts to make our graduates' high school career memorable. Mr. Joe Lynn, Mrs. Diana Graber, and Mrs. Stephanie Rowland, thank you for all you do. Especially today, Mr. Lynn does a phenomenal job with coordinating graduation, so thank you, Joe. Also, I want to publicly, I know she was kind of briefly acknowledged before, but I want to really publicly thank Mrs. Lynn for her tireless efforts and her talents for the amount of work that she does with performing arts and music. So, Mrs. Lynn, please stand so we can, yes, come out from the, thank you for all you do. And last but not least, I would like to ask some of our board of directors, if you're out there, please stand up. These are the individuals that really help govern and invest in the school to make this school what it is today. So those board members, if you can please stand up. I know you're out there. Father Brandt, Mr. Piquel is out there, Mr. Sheely, Mrs. Toole. Thank you for all your work. Graduates, as you know, PJP's Catholic Foundation was built upon the legacy of others before you. So when I mention our legacy alumni schools, I like to ask our guests here today to please stand and remain standing if you graduated from any one of these archdiocesan high schools I'm about to mention. Graduates, you will be joining over 33,000 legacy alumni, which includes St. Matthew's, St. Patrick's. St. Patrick, where's Sister Regina? You should be standing. I see you over there in the corner. Archbishop Kennedy, Bishop Kenrick, Kennedy Kenrick, St. Pius X, and our very own Pope John Paul II High School alumni. Please stand. I also want to recognize those in attendance today that attended any archdiocesan school. If you attended any archdiocesan school, please stand up and look around how many people we've impacted. Any archdiocesan school in the system. Sister, Father? One minute. I know. Graduates, PJP has prepared you academically, spiritually, and morally to make an impact in the world. Our community is extremely proud of how hard you have worked and the legacy you will leave behind for the future Golden Panthers that will follow in your footsteps. Be proud of who you are, where you came from, and where you are going, and be not afraid. As newly minted alumni, I have my first official presidential request of you. No, I'm not going to ask you for your alumni donation. Well, at least not yet. But when I say class of 2019, I would like for you to all respond together as loud as you can. As loud as you can. The words of our patron saint, Pope John Paul II, be not afraid. Ready? Class of 2019. To know when to lead and when to follow. Class of 2019. To know when to have courage and kindness at all times. Class of 2019. To dream big and follow your heart. Class of 2019. To live, laugh, and love. Class of 2019. To speak the splendor of truth about your high school experience. Class of 2019. To kiss and hug your mom, dad, brothers, and sisters often, no matter how old you are, class of 2019. There you go. I slid that in there for you, okay? Finally, class of 2019, to keep in touch with one another and with us at PJP. Remember the time you spent here fondly, and always, always know PJP will forever be your home. Congratulations.
Would the executive officers of the Student Council of the school year 2018-2019 please stand? President John Joseph Marinello. Secretary Julie Ann Kleinott. And Treasurer Alexander James Williams. Will the members of the Executive Board of Student Council please be seated?
The administration, faculty, and the class of 2019 respectfully requests that you hold your applause until all the students' names from each homeroom have been called. Every parent and guardian deserves to hear the name of his or her child. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Will the members of A1 please stand? Gavin Bradley Allerton. Isabel Rose Amir. Samuel Edward Anders. Zachary Philip Azar. Caitlin Marie Bailey. Yinbo Bao. Emma Valeria Bartolucci. Skylar M. Bass. Nadia Corinne Barons. Brian Scott Bendig. Madison Diane Bildstein. Sophia Marie Bonanno. William Joseph Borshevitz. Jillian Jamie Boyle. Lauren Marie Brennan. Grace Elizabeth Bruder. Brett James Buchler. Sean Joseph Bustinowitz. Patrick Edward Butler. Chun Pin Chow. Tao Chen. Si Kong Chen. Saw Young Cho. Youngjin Cho. Kamin Choi. Brett Bin Christensen. Nicole Alicia Sicipio. Will the members of A1 please be seated?
Will the members of A2 please stand? Lauren Rose Chuba. Faith Marie Kalalori. Meredith Rose Conway. Colin Michael Cooper. John Paul Casa III. Caitlin Jinling Creedon. Lauren Nicole D'Amico. Jessica Robin D'Angelo. Madison Paige D'Elia. Michaela Christine Davis. John Henry Dawson. Olivia Marguerite DeBald. John William Debussy. Olivia Paige Del Moro. Abby Kimball DeRenzo. Tyshir DeVoe Malachi. Kylie Catherine DeVico. Andrew Christopher Duff. Madison Lynn Dunn. Shannon Lee Farnsworth. Meredith Marie Felix. Jack Thomas Files. Jenna Nicole Finley. Paige Elizabeth Fisher. Anne-Marie Grace Fratone. Will the members of A2 please be seated?
Will the members of A3 please stand? Abigail Marie Galella. Marissa Ann Gallo. Erin Elizabeth Gibson. Caitlin Grace Gollinger. Peter James Glennon III. Noelle Marie Grassmeter. Hyun Guo. Zachary Mark Thomas Hamilton. Jung Yun Han. Christine Marie Heflin. Jack Charles Hershey. Vincent Andrew Hines. Claire Jacqueline Hoban. Anna Marie Hofnagel. Erin Michelle Holly. Ai Wang. Zanwen Hong. Valerie Caroline Hull. Sarah Mackenzie Jameson. Nicholas Andrew John. Megan Michelle Johns. Will the members of A3 please be seated?
Will the members of A4 please stand? Ashley Sade Kiefreiter. Ava Marie Klisch. Abby Marie Kofeld. Caitlin Rosanna Crum. Youngho Kwan. Sean Charles Laprie. Brett Thomas Layton. Madeline Rose Lizinski. Jacob Richard Levins. Chi-Yong Liang. Su Yu Liu. Sydney Elizabeth Lucenti. Kevin Joseph Lynn. Salvatore Morano. Matthew Vincent Marinelli. Sherry Linda Marshall. Marina Lynn Martelli. Emily Grace Martin. Nicholas James McCabe. Calm Joseph McCafferty. John Ralph McDevitt. Will the members of A4 please be seated?
Will the members of A5 please stand? Gianna Lori McFarland. Mackenzie Rose McFarland. Connor Andrew McGowan. Patrick Thomas McIntyre. Jamie Elizabeth McKnight. Jordan Christina Miller. Andrew Roy Mintzer. Michaela Patricia Monroe. Eliza Noel Morales. Christopher V. Morgado. Austin Tyler William Mulligan. Antonio Joseph Natali. Laura Ann Netwink. Han Nguyen. Haoyuan Neo. Brian Joseph O'Connor. Calvin Mark O'Neill. Ryan Nathaniel O'Neill. Victoria Allison Potson. Joshua Michael Panfile. Lauren Marie Piquel. Will the members of A5 please be seated?
Will the members of A6 please stand? Giovanna Mary Paisano. Patrick Thomas Quinn. Cole William Ridgely. Taylor Marie Roberto. Olivia Kristen Roth. Gianna Marie Salamone. William Christopher Salvo. Samantha Katharina Scarafone. Michael Thomas Schmidt. Rebecca Lynn Sherman. Caitlin Rose Seraphin. Kaylee Marie Shaughnessy. Jillian Elizabeth Schrum. Madeline Grace Scow. Caroline Page Slattery. Ethan Henry Slover. Ethan Tyler Smith. Kylie Dean Smith. Samuel Vetro Smith. Brandon Bambino Snyder. Reese Michael Soda. Tara Alexandra May Soda. Simone Marie Sperano. August Jackson Stauffer. Will the members of A6 please be seated?
Will the members of A7 please stand? Elise Marie Sylvester. Jason Christopher Teefee. Lydia Stanford Toole. Anya Alexandria Thaxton. Justin Luke Thornton. Joshua Edward Tyndall. Caroline Kelly Togno. Vincent Tooley. Ryan David Vulak. Timothy Joseph Vodo. John Alexander Wagner. John Robert Wagner. Kristen Michelle Weckerly. Hannah Michelle Weil. Candace Nicole White. Elizabeth Ann Wiggs. Jessica Nicole Yablonsky. Rensheng Yin. Si-hyun Yu. Yueshi Zhang. Liang Zhao. Yuanshu Zhao. Mengqin Zhou. Riaoyi Chen Zhou. Will the members of A7 please be seated?
Would the senior members of the St. Catherine Drexel chapter of the National Honor Society please stand? Sophia Grace Ardisi. Juliana Carol Chernesky. Mary Catherine Cleary. Danielle Gwendolyn Connolly. Julia Rose Costello. Hope Mary Irwin. Alana Lee Fiolo. Abigail Margaret Golemboski. Ricardo Alejandro Gomes Garcia. Madison Grace Green. Benjamin Joseph Grimm. Rachel Elizabeth Grossbauer. Nora Ann Henke. Anna Rose King. Morgan Elizabeth Laster. Madison Elizabeth Lewis. Corinne Elizabeth Lontock. Mackenzie Ann McCafferty. Leah Marie McMenamin. Molly Catherine Moore. Jisoo Park. Jack Adams Phillips. Christian David Schaefer. Darby Eileen Spina. Sean Patrick Tobin. Jessica Lee Velliser. And Christopher Russell White. Would the senior members of the National Honor Society please be seated? Would the executive officers of the St. Catherine Drexel chapter of the National Honor Society please stand? Historian John Paul Sheely. Secretary Lauren Rose McGarry. Vice President for Service, Jason Theodore Kost. Vice President for Academics, Grace Elizabeth Harvey. And President, Thomas Michael Hybeck.
Members of the Pope John Paul II class of 2019, I ask you to please stand. By the authority vested in me by the Archdiocese of Philadelphia and the Department of Education of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, diplomas were awarded to those students in the graduation class of 2019 who have fulfilled the requirements for graduation, beginning with Gavin B. Allerton and ending with Reo Chen Zhu. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen.
As we conclude these commencement exercises, the class of 2019 Student Council President Jack Marinello will pass the Pope John Paul II High School flag to the class of 2020 Student Council President Michael James McElroy.
You almost just ended everything.